Do you love egg rolls as much as I do? Have you ever been tempted to have an entire plate of them for dinner? Well, I sure have. But are you on keto diet, or maybe paleo, or are you gluten-free, low carb, whole 30? That's all I can think of. But this recipe pretty much fits in with all of those things. I'm going to cut out the wrapper of the egg roll, and I'm not going to deep fry it, but it's going to be delicious, so let's get cooking. So this is sausage from Walmart. Not what I would buy if I was in a big city and I had more choices, but here in this part of Utah, we're lucky that there's a Walmart. This one is a little more natural than most because it's made from just pork, water, salt, spices, and sugar. It has very little sugar because it actually reads as 0 grams in a serving. Now, normally, if I were in Chicago or some other big metropolitan place, I would probably go to Whole Foods or somewhere like that, or Sprouts, and buy probably a free-range, organic, something like that, meat. But like I said, it's just not an option here, and this was the best and most natural option, and it was very inexpensive, as it should be. But you can also use ground chicken or ground pork, ground beef, I don't know, ground tofu maybe? Yeah, you can use pretty much any protein that you'd like. It's really up to you. So I'm just browning the meat in the pan over slightly less than medium heat. I'm going to add some spices to the meat. I'm just going to throw in some garlic powder, chili powder, chili flakes, I'm sorry. Those are chili flakes. And some ginger. And this is Bragg's liquid aminos. Similar to the coconut aminos that I normally use. This one has a little different taste. It's a little saltier, a little less sweet than the coconut. Yeah, I usually avoid soy products, but this one was on clearance actually at a health food store back in Chicago, so I bought this. I'm just gonna put a little bit in. Now, you could do the coconut aminos if you ever found those, or you could just do a little bit of soy sauce or tamari. Yeah, just to add a little more Asian flavor. So I've never tried this before, but I'm going to try a stevia packet in here. Now that might sound gross to you. I am doing a low carb, very little sugar diet right now. So, and I was on someone's blog and saw that this recipe, which I've made before, but they made a slightly different version, but they added stevia powder. So I'm gonna try it. See how it turns out. Hope I don't hate it. I'm gonna take the meat mixture off of the burner, set it aside, and start the vegetables. So usually I would like to put way more onion than this in. This is only like the equivalent of one small onion. It's a portion of a very large onion, but this is all I have, so this is going in. So the onion's in the pan with a little bit of avocado oil. Let this soften up a bit. These are just white mushrooms that I've roughly chopped, and it's quite a bit. It's one of the small packages, Normally I wouldn't put this much in, but because of my lack of onion, I'm compensating with extra mushrooms. This will just go into the pan with the onion. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in there. And garlic, I'm using this this one I've had for a while, which is the minced up garlic and olive oil. Fresh is best if you have that, or use garlic powder, whatever. And this is pure sesame oil. I'm going to put just a little bit in. Don't put too much. It's a very powerful flavor. Unless you've had it before and cooked with it before, use that sesame oil very sparingly, because it will totally overwhelm a dish, even with, you know, just a tad too much. So I think, I never measure, like you all know. I might have put in a tablespoon or so, maybe a tablespoon and a half at the very most. So I'm also going to add a little bit of red chili flakes, ginger root powder, and black pepper. If you have white pepper, if I had white pepper, I would probably use the white pepper. Black pepper will work too. So you could definitely chop your own cabbage, up to you, but I'm looking for convenience right now. This is just coleslaw mix, and it has a little bit of carrot, some purple cabbage, and mostly green cabbage. It's a 1 pound bag, and it's going in with the mushrooms and onions. Now that looks like an awful lot, doesn't it? But as you probably know, the cabbage will cook down significantly, and it won't be all that much at the end. And plus, I just love cabbage, so bring it on. The more the better. So go ahead and stir the mushroom, onion into the cabbage. You know, I always go through, and they give you these like end pieces. I kind of break off the good parts and get rid of like the brown core part, the really dried out part. But not totally necessary. And if there's a huge piece, like this is a really big, thick piece of purple cabbage, I'm gonna grab my knife and chop that big purple cabbage up, throw it back in, because if it's in there whole, it probably won't cook the same as the other small shavings of cabbage. So this needs a bit of moisture, I'd say. I'm gonna try something different. I think last time I just added some water. You could definitely add any kind of broth you would want. But I recently got this organic chicken bone broth from Kitchen Compliance, and I got this from Sprouts. So I'm gonna add some of this. I made a little hole in the middle of the pan, and then I'm just going to add water to it from my spray bottle. Just stir that up, stir it in. So I'm going to cover this baby up, let it keep some of that steam in there, and let it cook that cabbage down a bit. Let's see how this is doing. Oh yeah. That's what it's supposed to be doing. Looks good. Now if it were to look too dry, add a little more broth or water or whatever you'd like. I'm all about substitutions. If you want to put in like snow peas or extra carrots, or omit the mushrooms. Just increase or add a different vegetable, you know. It's whatever you want. So it's time to add the meat back in. Now, if you're concerned about the grease, the fat in the meat, go ahead and drain it. But I'm on a low-carb diet where it's actually preferred to have a little higher fat intake, so I'm not going to worry about it. But you do what you need to do. So I'm going to let those two sort of meld together. Let all those flavors mingle together. I'm just going to cover it, but not completely. And I'm going to go ask my neighbor to borrow some sesame seeds. Knock, knock.
Hello.
Hello.
You got camera and bowl.
Can I borrow a cup of sesame seeds, please?
Yeah, I think I...
Not really a cup, I'm just kidding.
How much do you need?
Just like a, you know, a sprinkle.
How about if, do you want to just take the whole thing?
Okay, I'll bring it back.
Okay, you can do that. You can use as many as you like.
Thanks, neighbor. Yeah.
You're welcome, neighbor.
So there it is. I brought some over to Terry and Scott, and they seemed to like it. What I did was mix in some of the coleslaw mix, some extra, just because it comes off a little heavy to me. So for a little crunch, a little lightness, I put some more of the coleslaw mix in there. And it's not bad, pretty good. I totally forgot the green onions. I had them cleaned and everything, and I didn't put them on Terry and Scott's portion, but they are delicious on there. So if you like green onions, definitely a liberal amount of green onions. And also you can take this mixture and make a lettuce wrap out of it. I think that's a great idea. Instead of adding extra cabbage, extra raw uncooked cabbage to it to lighten it up, either put it on a salad and kind of make like a Asian, almost like a taco salad, I guess, or put it in a piece of romaine or leaf lettuce, something like that, or iceberg, and it would make a delicious lettuce wrap. So I invite you to make this and tweak it to however you like it. I ended up putting quite a bit of ginger, which made it kind of spicy, which that's the way I like it. If you don't like ginger or chili flakes, then just don't put them in. But this recipe is not only low carb, keto friendly, it's also gluten free, I don't know, Atkins friendly, Whole30 friendly, it's just friendly. So make it and invite your friends over to have some with you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.